Hey guys, welcome back to SMB Designs. I hope it's recording this time. I just went through half a video and realized that it was not recording the audio. So, fingers crossed, this is a good time. Okay, so I wanted to show you a couple of things. We had talked previously, I mentioned Franken pages that I had watched on Milena Plylant's channel, and I wanted to show you what those look like. This is with just gluing, and you can ink or not ink. I really like the inking though, it really stood out way more. And it lets your actual book pages be right side up when you're using them. And so I did that, and then here's the other side. I make sure the other side looks good as well. And that's a whole page in your journal. Um, Here's a couple of more examples. This one, I did a little bit of stamping and I put a little tab there, but I not only did I glue, but I stitched as well. And you'll notice when I'm stitching, you have to extend your stitch length or it will just perforate your paper and tear off. If you extend that stitch length, you're in gold. Okay, so I have gone through and stitched, and your stitches being wonky is even better. I think it adds more character to the page, but that's up to you. So I just used some stamps here, some just random stamps, and this is the back side of this page. And I think it turned out really cute. You can sew as much or as little as you want. You don't even have to. It's not required. But yeah, so this is the third page I did to show you. And on this one, I used a zigzag stitch. Again, the stitch length has to be widened. I used a 4 on mine. And I don't stitch on every single piece. I stitch down the main pieces is what I try to do. And you'll notice here that you'll see some of these stitches going down through here. That's okay. That just adds character to the page. It's nothing to worry about. If somebody says something, they ain't your friend, okay? They are not your friend. So on this side, I did a little bit more stitching, and you'll see the stitching will come through from the other side to this side. And so where it lands, this is the side I was sewing, and where it lands is where it lands. And it just looks great. It's just really a quick, easy thing to use up your book pages and scrap papers to make for a journal. You have that and some coffee or tea dyed paper, and you are golden for a journal. All right, so today we're going to look at two things in the book of ideas. Let me find my spot. Where is my spot? Right there. Okay, we are going to make this pocket. This has the potential of 4 pockets or 3 if you don't want the back to be a pocket. So every fold is a pocket. Here's one, here's another one, and then the back one. I think it definitely would be better to have some thumb holes here. So when we make ours, I will do that. You can glue this or you can sew it. Up to you, whatever you want to. This, you'll notice I used a tighter stitch. The reason I did that is because this is actually cardstock. It's a thick, heavy paper. So it's not going to perforate as easily as a regular piece of paper would. So we're going to make that today. And we are also going to make this pocket, and it has a pocket on the inside, and it also has a pocket in the back that you can slip something into. These are both exactly the same, so we're just going to do one, but I wanted to let you see what they would look like. So let me move that to the side. And we're going to start with this dude right here. This is a really easy pocket, something that you wouldn't necessarily think of though. As far as me, I wouldn't necessarily think of doing this pocket offhand. So I'm going to use this paper because as you know, the journal that I'm working on is a sewing journal, and it is all in this craft kind of paper. A lot of it is. and of course digital. But so what we need to do, we need to see how tall this is at its tallest point. So let me get my ruler. This ruler has been a lifesaver for me on my paper crafting journey and any other crafting journeys. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I think it was like $12 or something on Amazon. It is well worth getting. It's an easy read ruler by Victor. It's metal, but if you can see inside of each of the inches, it has all of the little marks marked out so you can get your exact size and know exactly what you're doing. That has been so awesome. Awesome, awesome. I can't say that enough. Okay, but we know I'm not a really good measurer, right? So I'm going to make a mark right there at the top, and then I'm going to have mine come all the way down and just see what we get. And the lowest point of it is going to be right here. And we could actually make this a little taller. Let's make this one a little taller. We'll just work with those sizes and angle it and see what we get. Oh, I did want to mention to you, if you didn't catch myself, What Jen Scraps, and Zena the Sassy Crafter live the other night, we were on What Jen Scraps channel, and Zena was teaching us some techniques that she had learned. And I wanted to show you one of them real quick, but there were several, and the video, it has tons of good stuff and lots of good laughs. So if you haven't seen it, head on over to What Jen Scraps channel and check out that live. But these are a couple of the pages. These are using cardstock that has that white core on the inside. You know, that dreaded white core none of us really like because it messes up our embossing. So it's really easy. All the instructions for doing this are over on that live. But they turned out looking a lot like leather paper, and I was so proud of them. I loved them. So thank you, Zena, for teaching us all these great tricks. There are several more on that live, you guys. All of us did some, and all of us came out with totally different stuff. So I highly recommend checking that out. Okay, so we're going to start, and we're going to just use this angle, and you can make it as angled or unangled as you want. And I think I'm going to do mine right about there. I can cut more off if I want, but I can't put more back on. That was my, I think that was my, yeah, that was my scoring. The scoring won't work. Okay, and because I have that scoring, it doesn't go all the way to the end on mine. You can take that off and let it go all the way to the end, but it's not a big deal for me just to do a little clip there. So here we go. Here's what we have. And you can do this a couple of different ways. I know I'm giving you too many options probably, but the whole point is you want to fold it up without folding it so that you get the waves that you want for your pockets. And I don't think I'm getting as strong of a wave as I would like, so I will cut that one some more. Let's check this one out. How did this one do? Yeah, that's not a very strong thing either, so we're going to cut that a little more. Your angle is what you're after. And I know I probably should have went with the regular angle stuff, but I wanted to try something different. Just something different. Something, something, something. Okay, I think I need it shorter on that end and longer on this end. A lot of working with paper is trial and error. These people that have these videos up that show you these perfect projects, they started somewhere. They had a trial and error moment. So don't feel bad if you throw a page or two away. That's why when you're practicing, it's really good just to use scrap paper. Just scrap whatever you have left laying around. Okay, we got that one. Let's trim this one some. Trial and error is how we have learned for, oh goodness, eternity, I guess. Okay, I don't want that much off of this one. I want more off of that one. I don't know, maybe this is right, maybe this is wrong. We will see. But I will not be cutting out anything that is wrong because I want you to see that it can go any way you want it to go. You just have to make the trial and error moves to try and get it lined up. Okay. If we were going to measure, you could measure the length here, and we know it's a 12-inch piece, and we want it to fold 3 times, and the back is our 4th one. So you would divide that up, and that would be 4, I think, every 4 inches. So we would fold here at the 8. Line it up on the bottom, make that fold. And that was the 8, so we will go 4 more out to the 4. And I may have that wrong. It should have been 3 instead of 4, because 3 times 4 is 12. So yeah, I think I did. I did. That's okay. I don't have to have 4. I can have 3. But in case you wanted to, let's go back and fix it. And we will go 3 by 3. So every 3 inches, we've got 1, 2. I'm going to go with a 9 there for mine. Don't let your paper move on you. It'll get you all crooked. And see, my line's not lined up on the bottom. You got to keep an eye on that bottom. Okay. And then we've got that one, so it should be easy to fold over to get the other ones. Make sure that your folds stay on the edge. And that's going to put the outside of ours as craft, which I'm okay with. That gives us something to decorate, right? Let me get my bone folder and work these edges here some. Okay. I know that I wanted some notches here. So for that, you're going to need a circle punch. I'm just going to use this little 1-inch one because, why? Because that's the one that I got quickest. If you don't have a circle punch, it's okay. Draw a half circle in the middle and just cut that out with your scissors. The circle punch just makes it way, way easier because you can actually see where you're going to punch and how far you're going in. So that looks good to me for one. And then I'm going to try and keep mine lined up. So I want the next punch to be about right there. That one got a little bit deep there. It's okay. It's okay. Don't go so deep on the next one. There we go. Oh, I locked it by accident. Okay, and I'm going to put one on that top one just because I want to be able to use that as a pocket for me. Okay. So at this point, all you have to do is glue or sew down the edges. Really that simple to attach it to your book. If you did not want the extra pockets here, you just wanted the 2 pockets, leave this one without the hole, and then you can connect it here and flip it out to open it, which I think would be pretty cool as well. So let's fold our other one. And we know we got to fold 3 inches for the first one. So on our 9 mark, use that bone folder. And yes, mine is real bone. I don't like them plastic nylon things. I like the real bones because if you're going to call it a bone folder, it needs to be a bone. That's enough of my rant. Okay, So this one we're going to fold and make sure it's just lined up at the bottom and on the outer edge. And if I fold it this way, I'm going to get the cardstock on the outside. If I want the cardstock to show on the other side, I just reverse my fold. And then I get the cardstock showing the pattern on the outside, which I do want because I really like this pattern. I think it is beautiful. I'm straightening up that edge because it was a little bit wonky there. Okay, I like that. I like that very much. And I'm going to try very hard not to clip very much because I'm not very good at that. I'm just going to clip a very little bit. There I went locking it again. And they look a little bit funny because they're on an angle because, well, that's what you got for a pocket. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. This one will be the one I use in my book. And I'm not going to punch the very back because I want to be able to use it as a fold out, right? So we're just altering it a little bit, but if you wanted it not to have that fold out, you would just put you a little notch hole there and glue or stitch the sides, and that would be your base pocket. You could decorate and do whatever you wanted to it all the way down. So for grins and giggles, I'm going to go over and sew this real quick, and then we are going to decorate the front. Okay, I've gotten out my vintage photo Distress Oxide. You can use any ink you want to. Shoot, I've even tried shoe polish, but it is extremely dark, so you would want to put a little bit watered down and just barely touch it and let it dry. But we're going to decide what we want on the front of this. Now, I've gone and sewn mine together. I've sewn all the way around this edge here. And if I was thinking, I would have used the ink on this before I sewed it together. You be smarter. You use the ink on it before you fold it together. And then I went and I sewed the back panel just so it had stitching because I like the stitching. And this way, when I put it in my book to use, I can either put it over the edge of a page to where it looks like, let me get one. So it looks something like this. And then my pockets are here. I can flip up here, right the back, right the front. And then this one would be, you could either just paper clip it or glue it, your choice, but it would be a whole nother spot to decorate. So those are some ideas for that. Now, I've pulled out a few things for us to try and play with and see what we like. And I have, I found these little women in a digital that I had, and I think they're actually the size that would go on this. So I want to definitely use them, I think. Maybe, maybe not. I may not, because I do have these rub-on stickers. And this right here is just black, but it's a dress form, and it would go great with my theme. And I don't know. I like this. It says fashions change, but style endures. So I could even put that as some wording on there beside it. But I also have these out. Now this is a die cut medallion out of some metallic paper. I think it's cute. I don't think I would use the whole thing on this because it is smaller. I might would use half if I used that. Also, I have this, which I think is too big. I'm kind of ruling that out now. And I have this 60-inch tape measure, which goes perfectly with my theme. So I also have the option, these are some other rub-ons, and I had a postcard, but I had these little decorative things, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I think that doesn't really go great. And then in the digital kit that I'm using, you can find this digital kit on my Ko-fi site, It's 44 pages. A lot of the pages you can use in other areas. And digital kits are great because once you have the digital kit, you can reprint it as many times as you want to reuse as many pages. So I like this little thread here, but I know that I have a terrible time getting those little bitty things cut. So I do have this spool here, which is cool. I could use that, and I could definitely use the buttons. And then I have some labels. So I think I really like this label because it is so just plain. It's not going to be out in your face, and you can use just a piece of it. But if I did that on there, let me cut it and let's see what it would look like there. I am left-handed, so everything will be backwards probably for you, but that's okay. And I am a slow fussy cutter because if I'm not slow, I tend to cut off parts. Yeah, sometimes those parts are valuable. You don't want to cut them off. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you. A lot of people take their stuff that they need to cut and sit in front of TV and watch a show or watch YouTube or whatever sounds good to you at the moment. And they just sit there and fussy cut slowly along while they're watching TV. So there's definitely many options of how you could do it. Don't give up. Fussy cutting is awful, but it is necessary. Some people really think it's relaxing. Some people do, and I got to give them props because it's not relaxing to me. Okay, so if we had this on here, we could do a piece of it. Would we want this behind, kind of like our base, and then build up on that? We could. We could. I do have a lot of little quick little things we could grab. These storage containers are from the Dollar Tree. They're a hot commodity, so if you can grab some, grab them. They're awesome to have. I have these little ones here. She might would be cute. I'm not sure that I like it there, though. That's not quite enough color. I'm like way off, not doing much color. Matchless cleanser, huh? Okay, he's pretty funny. He's pretty funny. You got to give it to him. Here's as a person. Has a little more color going on. Okay, that would pull a little more out there. If we did that, we do have some other bits and pieces. Let's see what we've got in here. I do have words. They are a part of the digital kit. So if you need some words, they're in that kit and they'll be great. Oh, I forgot about this little girl. Oh yeah, she would go better. Okay. So I think that would be all of the labels that I would want on there just because of how much it's got going. I say that as I'm pulling another one out, but it might be too much. Needs something going on down here. Okay, we'll put that back. We will get some words going. And I need to put him back before I forget. That's another thing. Always put your stuff back right away. Because if not, you'll sit here and you'll go through this stuff and you will have no clue whatsoever where it came from, where it went, any of that good stuff. Oh, I forgot about these papers. I got these papers from Temu in a little pack, and they're all grungy and burnt looking. I wonder, would we like it better than that? she would certainly go well with it. And we could put it like that and put a word on there. Maybe a quarter of this. Yeah, I think I'm liking that. I do, however, want some thread to ball up. So let me grab that. Okay, I grabbed some thread. I just pulled it off my spool. Usually you have excess thread laying around your sewing room. So you're just going to ball it up like that. And I'm going to have mine, I think, behind this label right here. Yeah, I love threads. We'll have that there. I found this and I thought, well, we might could put that across the bottom and then put this on. And I think this is just too shiny for what we're doing. So we need to try something different. And I'll grab that. Okay, so I grabbed a couple of containers. These are some die cuts that I did with my machine. You don't have to have die cuts, guys. You can use whatever you have. Whatever you have. I have them, so I thought I should use them. But that's it. That's only because I have them. Let's see, that's a kind of neat looking one. I like the color with that, but I think it's a little big. I have this one. That's really cute. But I don't know that we really need two labels side by side. So something to think about, just something to think about. Now that would put a little bit of glitz in with what we've got. That's not bad. I mean, that's, that could be something. And I also brought out this one because I had some other medallions. And I thought, well, we could try a medallion in a darker color. Let's see about this one being there. No, I'm just not really liking. I like the laciness of the medallion, so maybe that's it. Maybe I need to leave it kind of more centered and then just do across the bottom. This is the way you decide stuff. You just audition it. You just look at it, try it, see what happens. And what if we did that one but did it the same way? No. This is a jelly printed one, which it's not really, but it would work. Okay, I guess. Okay, so we're going to skip that one. I have many of them in here, including a cream one, but I don't really want cream. I think this little guy is so cute, but I don't think I would need it. We'll get a word and we'll see. I have got all this stuff to the side of me so I can meander through it as I need to. This is quite a big messy mess whenever you're doing this kind of stuff. Just so you know, your room will be a mess. That's okay. That's what crafting is about. Making messes and enjoying it. Okay, come on, where are they at? I put them aside so I would have them right handy. You know how that goes? Well, I have this I could use instead of that. And it's kind of a good grungy stuff, but are the words competing? That would be my thought with that. They're in here because I cut like a million of them. Well, I'm not seeing them right handy, so I found these stickers. And I got these at the Dollar Tree, I believe, and they just say handmade with love. So I'll use one of those stickers on this, and then we will ink and see what that looks like. See if we really like it. This video is going on quite long, so we may have to do that other pocket in the next one. But that's okay. That is okay. You can measure to get it central if you want to, but I'm not going to. We know I'm not going to. Okay, our ink out, and you just dip it in there, and then you just kind of flick it out around it. You can make it as neat or as messy as you want. I really like messy, so I just kind of throw it on there. I am definitely a grungy fan. And I do that on the ends sometimes just to kind of bring it all in. But we've got that there. And if we put our stamper thing there, we would pull this down just a little so it's not right under. I just am not sold that this is the right thing there. Maybe just the lace. Yeah, just the lace there. Save your trims. If you have leftover trims from projects or anything, save them because they make awesome, awesome stuff for your journal stuff. Okay, so I need to, this one's already inked, so I need to ink this one just so they don't have any plain edges. And this ink goes a long, long way. I redo my dauber all the time, but that's just me. You don't have to because the ink is still on your inker. Okay. And then I did want to put some ink on this little baby. To me, ink just kind of finishes off a project really well. And that's why I think most people ink is because of the finishing effect that it gives. It transforms everything from what you thought you were seeing to what it really can be. Be sure and ink in those finger holes if you can get to them. I will get to them. That's the good thing about using cardstock as well because it's not nearly as fragile and it will be able to help you when you've made a boo-boo and done something like that. It's more fiddly this way than it would be, if you did it before, but it can be done is what I'm trying to say. All is not lost. Okay, and I'm going to do the spine edge here and make sure that I got it on front and back. I just love that color coming through. Okay, and then on the inside, if you want it on the inside, now is the time to do it. And I typically do the outer edges because I just like it. But a lot of people don't necessarily because they leave that for good writing space, which mine is still going to be good writing space because I'm not covering the whole area. But it's very useful that way. Just gives you a look, that same continuity of a look. I folded that back to get that edge there and putting that ink out there. Yeah, I think that's just beautiful. That ink is just transforms it completely. It makes the holes stand out so you can see your pocket areas a lot better. I do need to, did I ink everything? I think I did. Okay, so our first piece is going to be this one. I don't want it right up to the top, and it's a little bit long. So I'm going to just kind of fold it up to where I want it to end, and then just tear it off because I like the torn look. Messy, remember, messy. Okay, so now we're going to need some glue. You can either use your glue stick, or I love to use art glitter glue, but for the back one, I think I'm going to try this glue stick. I'm trying it out to see if I like it better than any of the other ones I've tried. So far, it's pretty good. I am wanting to try the Pritt stick. I had a friend tell me that that was the best glue she'd ever used, glue stick. So I'm going to have to listen to her and try it. Okay, get that centered in there, and below that hole notch, that's on there. Okay, so this is going to require some more glue. You can either use your art glitter glue, or you can use Fabri-Tac. And generally Fabri-Tac with this kind of stuff because it's a fabric. But you do you, boo-boo. Okay, put my little balled up string there. After all, we are doing a sewing journal, right? And we wanted this down because this one was larger, and we didn't want it to cover up our words as much. We could do it like that. And then I can just cut off that edge right there. That'll work. And get my little glue here. Art does a lot of good for paper crafters. It is temperature sensitive though for mailing, so during certain times of the year when the weather is colder, it does not ship to certain areas. Just, an FYI to let you know that. Okay, I just glued that right down on top of the thread, and it glues it with it. Let's just cut this little edge off here. Okay, I didn't get it quite close enough. There we go. And I want some ink on that because I don't want just a bare edge. Luckily, I didn't get the glue all the way out there, so I can do that. All right, just mush it down good. Then we're going to put this little piece on. Okay. Right there she goes. And then we need to put this on. So I'm going to grab the Fabri-Tac just because this is a much thicker trim. It's more like a crochet than a, you know. Okay. So I like to put the Fabri-Tac in the heavier spots, like these little flowers have a lot more string that was used to make this area. So I like to put it there and then along the top edge because you want that top edge to lay really well. And it can be fiddly, but it can be done. I think that is my motto. It can be done. You just have to figure out the way to do it. Okay, I'm going to put it more to this side so I can cut that little edge off once it dries. But you don't want to try cutting anything off of that until it is dry because it will pull up on you. Be mindful that you're not mispulling the shape of it when you try to put it in the right area there. And Fabri-Tac glue dries very quickly. So I should be able to just kind of clean that edge up there. And flip it around and take off that extra. Okay. I leave the strings and all on. I just like them. You can cut them if you want to. But guys, that is what we made today. This is a wonderful pocket. 1, 2, 3 pockets, remember, because we kept the one that would have been the fourth out, so it will be a flip over. So yeah, guys, all you need now are a few tags to put in there, and you're good to go with that one. So I hope you enjoyed this and it was helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely comment and let me know what you think about this series. Is it too basic? Is it too hard? I want to make sure that I'm doing something that's helpful for you. So anyway, love you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.